Hello, Nazman. Thanks for dropping into chat. It's good to see you. I'll be starting in just a couple minutes. All right, let's get this Friday stream going. TGIF. I just wanted to start the stream today by finishing off the little bit of tutorial logic we were doing for the fishing game last night. So, um, we started working on the tutorial yesterday on stream, and what I ended up doing was just organizing organizing all of the logic into the Logic Board Pro so I could take notes of it and make sense of everything going on. And so I started working on what the tutorial could be and how we could implement it into the fishing system, but tutorials can be really tricky. And essentially, sometimes if you don't build the game with the tutorial in mind and you want to use the actual game loop mechanics, then you might have to build like that system kind of over again from scratch. And I don't want to do that. So what I did was I developed a tutorial for I developed a like a persistent tutorial until you turn it off. So the tutorial uses banners because just from making games, people don't like getting stopped by askers all the time, and they don't like getting stopped by pop-ups all the time. But banners are pretty painless, and people usually notice them pretty good. So banners are a good thing. And so basically I'm just popping banners up to try to teach the game right now. So let's see what that looks like. So I'm using trigger volumes. I'm using messages that happen throughout the logic. And so if I get close to the fishing pole, it says press E on the fishing pole to fish. Use better bait to catch better fish. Left click determine your power to determine your power. Left click as soon as you see a splash. Fish got away. Buy bait here. Turn off tutorial banners here. Get money here. The only thing that's not super fun about this this system is like banners can stack. So if somebody's messing around and they're just running into trigger volumes, then they're just standing there. That you might see a bunch of trigger volumes happen for a while as the trigger volumes stack. So it's the only thing I don't really like about banners. They can happen way later than you want them to if the banners are stacked up. But spreading them out, making them happen in a good time is usually what to do. But right now I'm just using trigger volumes. Hey. Left click to determine your power. So this time I'm going to click too early. No fish hooked. You left clicked too early or too late. That one happens too fast. I can't read it. So I might need to change it to a 2-second. Let me click too late here. No fish hooked. You left clicked too early or too late and missed the fish. All right. Yeah, you could have it that way, but I'm just guessing that when somebody's play, they're not going to notice the banners until they like realize it. But yeah, I mean, that's a way you could do it too. You could absolutely do it so that they only play once. You just have to set up more rules. So it's like this message. You could use another like true false. I don't know. It's just a lot of rules, a lot of setups. But that is absolutely another way you could think about it. So I have a couple changes I want to make. Tutorial off. Bobber timing off. This one needs to be 2 seconds so we can read it. All right. And so I'm going to copy this. And we're going to put it in the rules right here. And we could just talk about what this does. So the notes for this one, it's going to be like so this thing checks a true false variable to see if the tutorial banners are. I've just used banners in the past. I've done this in the past. Usually I just have them off and I say that you can turn them on at the beginning. But I'm just going to leave them on here. Because the biggest thing, you know, it's just like the hardest thing to do is like teaching somebody how to play the game you made, honestly. Um, checks trigger volumes, speaker, and uses messages throughout the systems to try systems. To trigger banners to help explain what to do. That is ERA doing a laugh track. What's up? Good to see you, ERA. We're just putting some final touches on my notes for this fishing concept that I put together using out Logic Board Pro, which is CyberDragon's tool for looking at rules. It's probably best to use the pages and not put them all on one page, but this is a good test. We've got 191 rules so far. I love rules. I'm doing really good. Can't complain at all. Nobody listens anyway, am I right? How many times have you heard that in your life? Just a second, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. But next we're going to work on making an array. And I'm going to use CyberDragon's tool to do it. So yeah, that's my idea for making a tutorial for this game for now. If we want to explore a different tutorial, then you'd have to actually like build the tutorial system. And I'm open to doing that. But there's a game jam coming up. That's going to be 2 weeks. And then just to stay working on Pickaxe Master and stuff. Just like maybe in a while we retouch this, but that's my tutorial for now on this game. Cool. Make sure I save this. And so here you can, so I called this this page Master Fred Hud Fishing Logic. Not master because I'm a master, but this is the master copy. And we're going to export this. And now it's just in my downloads. Okay. So basically I just keep a folder on my desktop. And so where I'm going to try to keep all this stuff organized. I'm still really working on my flow here, so like I'm a little clunky at doing all this stuff right now. But if I paste it in here, see the last modified date. It's probably how I'll organize them if I want to keep backups or just replace it. And so, yeah, you just open that stuff. So if I want to import a project, like I could send you all these notes. I could duplicate the game, send you the game, send you a copy of all the rules with all my notes next to it. Or not just me, but anybody could do this. Oops. Import them, you'll get a success. And then boom. All the rules with my insights, and I can keep working on this, you know. to make sure it's easier to understand. The only thing to look out for Logic Board Pro right now is there's no HUD rules. And Cyber Dragon said that's because of the changes coming in 12. And yeah, there's been lots of hints that 12 is going to be really good. Or I don't mean good, but I mean changes. So that's always seems to be the case with GameMaker and software getting built. But yeah, you're just working on old stuff. But this is amazing. Okay. So let's start something new then. Just refresh it. Something cool too is it has an autosave feature. So like the other day I accidentally went back a page and like I didn't lose my work because it had an autosave, and then you can hit this load button right here and it just will load the last project you were working on. So not only can you import your project, but it keeps the project you're last working on active. But it's been really cool. So today I'm going to try to build an array in here. So what do I mean by an array? An array is like how you could deal 52 cards without accidentally dealing the same card twice. So Cyber Dragon has a really good idea how you can mechanically do this, which is like envision a funnel that drops a bunch of balls into it, like how they count lotto numbers. And at the top, it's just like, yeah, it would just be like a lotto ball machine. Just imagine like everything being jumbled up real nice. And then the balls fall through a hole. And depending on the order they are, that's your RNG. I think that's a really easy way to do it, especially if you aren't into game rules. I have built one of these systems before, but I just want to try it again from scratch on the rules. And I think what I did last time was every number in your array has to have a true and a false. You could do it with a true false, you could do it with a variable. I'm just going to do it with the true false, I think. It's nice to use a variable though, because then you can use a math rule and you can get a message on the end of a math rule. But when you change a true false, you don't get to send a message after that. Which is kind of annoying. Not that I want to use it, or if I know I want to use it, but so maybe I'll have to use math. And so for this version, I want a, an array of 30 that picks 5. So that'll be pretty easy to make because I don't have to worry about the RNG taking forever. Main thing, what's up, Wicked? Good to see you in chat. Thanks for dropping in. I do want to build an array that'll deal 52 cards really good too, but that's a bigger project because like the way that this system's going to work, it's going to be like roll 1 to 30 and check to see if that number has happened before, and then roll again. So imagine if you're trying to deal all 52 cards and you're at like just a couple cards left, like let's say like there's two numbers left. So you have to, or there's one number left. And you have to wait for that RNG to roll that specific number out of more than 50 numbers. It could take a long time to deal that last one. So I think I'm thinking of a system that might work though. But that's the next one. This is the easy array that won't have any trouble finding 5 out of 30. Makes perfect sense to me. Let's get going. So in this system, it's going to be for like a quiz show because it's the game jam is for a quick loop, and it's like a game show or an idle clicker, and they encourage you to use the template tag, quiz, idle clicker, and crash game, which is like Cyber Dragons. It's like money go up, go down market game version or some sort of take on that. So I'm making a system for a quiz game, some sort of trivia thing. And this base system is going to have. So imagine that there's a group of easy questions, a group of medium questions, and a group of hard questions. So in this group of easy questions, I want 30 questions that we pick 5 out of with no duplicates. And that's what we're going to do, build an array for, like, I'm going to build an array for the easy one. That has 30 questions in it that can pick 5 out. And now I'm just thinking to myself, like, is there a way that I could possibly use this array and then like put something on the beginning of it that separates if it's easy, medium, or hard, so I don't have to build this array 3 different times? I don't know if I have that fully wrapped around my head yet. But I can build the array. The big thing here is like there's a lot of variables. You need a variable for every number. Oh, let's change what this is. We did do that. We did it with like some toggles. It was a mechanical system. Like, yeah, definitely. Some sort of like memory. I think memory logic is really cool in the sandbox. Okay, so array of 30 that picks out 5. I approach some of these streams without thinking this through very much, so it's like just me sitting here and thinking sometimes. But we can definitely create variables for each one. I think true false would be the best because then we can just use if else and be like, hopefully it works out. It's a single player game, so I'm going to use global variables to just make sure everything works the way I want it to and I don't need player needed messages. And let's name it like question dot zero dot zero, which means it's the first category and the first question. Base category, base question. And the value is false. So what does this mean? This means that there is a true false variable for question 0.0 and it's false. That's pretty much it. So if I say question.0.1 and I just hit Control A and copy that, I really want duplicatable variables. That'd be amazing. That'd be a way to make this tool better than GameMaker. And then they could just copy it eventually when people like it. What's up, Play Game for Fun? Good to see you in chat. I'm doing good. Hopefully everybody out there is doing amazing. Making an array isn't very exciting work, but I don't do exciting stuff on my stream ever, so I'm sure you're used to it. Alright, so this number is just going to go up to, oops, not a text, true false. One thing you can't do in Logic Board is you can't edit your variables like you can in GameMaker.
These flowers.
All right. I'm still very new at using this tool, so I haven't really got my flow, but I'm getting there. I'd probably be able to build, well, I don't know. But yeah, I'd probably be able to build in GameMaker faster. But it really pays off to organize your thoughts and stuff while you're making games, and this is like the perfect note-keeping potential. Because you can paste videos, you can paste notes. It's like Miro board, but with also the utility of pasting your rules and everything for your rules there. So it's pretty crazy. So this just has to go all the way up to 29. The cool thing is like, um, I could just send you this and then you don't have to do all this work. You know, also, if it works, you know, probably should wait to see the final product. Unless, yeah, if you want to do all the work, more power to you, bud. Oops. What's up?
Can I have a pop?
You can have one today.
Okay.
So it's kind of like in the morning, you know. All right. So I'm trying to get to 29. $24. 25. We're so close now. 27. 28. 29. Make sure they're all the booleans, true falses. So, I think I have to build 3 systems. The only way that it makes sense in my head, I got to build an array for each category. So, if easy has 30 questions, it needs 30 true falses. And then the medium, if there's 30, it also needs 30. If there is a hard, it also needs 30. So, for every question, there's a true false variable. So, there's 90 variables for 90 questions. That's the only way I can make sense of it in my head right now. I think. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. I might only have to build one and then like just do the easy. Do the easy part. So search the array for the easy. And then once it's time for the medium, search the array again. And then it's like setting up the medium. And then when it's time to do the hard, it does the array again. Because we only need 5 out of 30 every time it's time to set it up, I guess. Or we could just like roll 3 times in the background, I guess. That might be even better. So like when the game starts, it just like loads up 5 easy, 5 medium, 5 hard. That's probably what I'll do actually. It's always the first idea, always the second thought. Oh, I don't know if it's the first idea. Best idea, second thought, something like that. Okay. So, with that idea in mind, then we're going to do. We need variables for like the stored questions. Uh huh. Because you need to store all this information for when the quiz game is ready to retrieve the question. So you just need to have all this data ready for the game to grab it. So we need to create uh, an integer variable for each question. So if there's 5 questions for each category, then I need 5 variables for the questions. So I'll need 15 variables for the question. All right, I like where this is going. So now we're going to have a number. We'll say that this is. So I named these probably weird because I'm not going to do it like this. This is always going to roll the same. I think I got to figure it out. But these new variables that I'm making, we'll name them like easy.1. Or we can make it even easier so we understand better. Easy question dot 0. And it starts at 0 because it doesn't know what it is. Copy that. Easy question dot 1. Easy question dot 2. Easy question dot 3. Easy question dot 4.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Hikian, it's good to see you so often, dude. How you doing? Hope you're doing good. Thanks for dropping into chat. So those are the easy questions we can load up, and then I should have named this the other way. The base should be question, but I already did it. Medium question dot zero. I'll copy that. Whoops. We're going to go up to 4. Yep. Happy Friday stream. Weekend looking good. My daughter has a ballet recital this weekend. That'll be pretty fun. Oops. And then we'll go the hard questions. If Roxy was here, he'd say, that's what she said. All right, so we're at hard question 1. Two. Just a minute. Yeah, no kidding. She is like that. Hard question 4. So now we have 15 variables to set to numbers. Set to numbers between 0 and 29. And then once we're done setting up the last question, we'll just be done. So let me make a backup just in case anything happens. $30 question array that picks 5. That picks 15. This one's pretty specific. It's a good start for what I want to do here over the next few months. That picks 5 questions from 3 categories. 30 question array that picks 5 questions from 3 categories. Alright, so like if I export this, it'll export all the rules I made at least so far. Alright, so I've exported my first backup. I didn't get a look through it yet. I didn't notice them yet. Let me look at them right now. Dude, that render is sick. This one with the rogue set giveaway. Oh, shit. The lightning cracking around the golden logo. Then like little particles. It's sick, dude. I don't think I've been seeing K's tweets. Maybe I have. I must have just missed that one. Go West won it on stream. But yeah, that render's sick, dude. Makes it look so good. Alright, I'm gonna get some I'm just gonna play some rain in the background. There's some white noise. And then I'm gonna get in the flow of what's going on here. Alright, just 1 second. Just putting a little rain on the background. Just keep it really light. Okay, so we're gonna pick 5 easy questions, 5 medium, 5 hard. We're gonna search 30 questions and make sure we only pick 5 out. Here we go. And I'm gonna build it all in Logic Board Pro. So on player join, I like to just add the message on player join as well. We need another variable, which is going to be RNG for the question. And then what is this? Should I just use the pages like GameMaker so it makes sense easier and it doesn't lag? I should. So this page is going to be named I don't know, dude. For now. I'll have my bearings better later. So then we'll go into an RNG. Oops. On player join. We'll roll a number between. Trying to get used to this. So we'll just do 0 and 29. How about that? And this variable is going to be the RNG. Message to send. Question.check. And then the magic happens. A lot of compares are going to happen. So it's going to be like, if I get question.check, and I check this, and it is equal to 0, then we're going to send, let's just go really simple and say RNG.0. And so I need that all the way up to 29, just like with the variables. But what is it going to do after this? RNG.0. It's going to hit a compare true false. RNG.0. My wife is texting me. So when we get that message, we're gonna check the question 00. Is it equal or not equal? I don't know what that means. Condition. I don't know what that means. It's true. It's true. I don't know. I'll have to put it over and check it in GameMaker. So, oh, is equal to or not equal to? Oh, wait. I'm getting, wait. Compare true, false. Okay. Yeah. Actually, this one doesn't quite work like it does in GameMaker. Unless I'm doing the wrong thing here. So I just want an if else. Let me see here. Oh, I grabbed the wrong rule. I'm at 80. That's the problem. Now we got it. And then message when false. We'll just use the message set.0, I guess. Message just send when true, nothing. And then replace, edit a, no. Edit a true false. So if we get that dot zero, then we're gonna set this variable to a fixed value of true. And so it can no longer send set.0. But if it's false, then it sends reroll. Something like that. Roll. So we're going to duplicate this and Gonna have it on player join's gonna start. It's also gonna roll on roll. And if we get a set 0, then we're going to also edit a number. This is easy question 0. Fixed value. Well, could I just set it to the RNG before it re-rolls? I don't know. That might be risky. What else do we need to do here? We need to keep track of how many numbers we've set up so that we know to like reset it and move on to the next 5 questions. So let's make a new variable called like oops, the question counter. The question counter. How long have we been streaming? An hour and 10 minutes already? Damn. Set.0, have a variable here. Question counter. We will add 1 to it. And the new total is the question counter. And then we'll do like the counter check, I guess. Then you'll also need a variable for the category too. That's pretty funny. So what's the counter check gonna do? Let's just put it right next to this. Or on this side of it. So what's the counter check doing? It's comparing. So it's gonna say counter check check the counter. If it is equal to a fixed value of, it should get to 4, right? Let me see. Starts at 0, question 1. So when it's equal to 5, though. Oops. When it's equal to 5, then we are going to be like category dot check, I guess. Or, I don't know. That's not the right word there. How about this message is just like reset array. So what happens when we reset the array? We can have another variable. So create another variable. This is your category counter. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this. So when we get the message reset array, we're going to go ahead and take our category counter, add one that's our new category counter, and then this will be category.check. So that'll tell us how many times to do it. This will be an easy one because reset doesn't come out very often. So this would be like the category check. If category counter is equal to 1. Category.1. Category.2 if it's equal to 2. And then if it's category equal to 3, that's when we like stop or do nothing, but so we probably don't need that, but I might have to just ponder on this for a little bit because I don't stream very long for my streams nowadays. I gotta go make my kiddos snacks here pretty soon, check on them. Be streaming for like another 10 minutes, but I'll be back on Monday with probably more thought into what I'm doing here. But I'm getting close to something here. So now we have a way to keep track of our category. So when we hit set.0. Set.0 is going to have three comparison numbers. So we're going to compare it to its a category counter. If it's equal to 0, um, if it's equal to 0, then we're going to set easy. How do I set them up? Oh, I don't know. This is kind of complicated. Because I need to know which which question to put it in. So I need to check which order it is. There's gonna be a lot of rules. Holy moly. Wait. So first set.0 would have to check the question counter. And if it's equal to 0... Wait. Then it would be like set easy.0.0. No, set easy.0. And it would be one for each question. And then one for each category. You would have to check the category first and then the question. Probably. No. Well, I'm gonna think about this today. Continue working on it on Monday. Maybe poke it this weekend and just wrap my head around what I'm trying to do here. But we're getting close to somewhere. We got a bunch of variables created, so it'll turn into something pretty soon. I gotta get this done for the game jam, so I'll be working on it. We'll have a nice file here, and if I can get something nice working, like, I don't really mind if anybody else has it either. So, but getting to use it in a meaningful way, um, I'm not 100% sure that'll work out for you, but I would, feel free to give it a try. All right, anyway, I appreciate everybody hanging out very much. Hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Hope you have an amazing weekend. Thanks for hanging out, ERA Wicked. It was really good to see you, talking with you. We'll have this array working in no time. Don't you all worry about it. I'm not worried about it. All right, talk to you later.
Yeah.